What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Mad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. Mm-hmm. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor, upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met in my life. I mean, Izzy was taking second-year college calculus courses as a high school sophomore, right? Straight-A student, full ride to MIT. Izzy had the world at his fingertips. But he was always looking for trouble, and trouble found him. He ran with the wrong crowd. And when we got to MIT, he got this great job working for a financial consulting firm in Boston. Mm. But every weekend, he would fly to Vegas. You see, Izzy had a system for counting cards in Vegas that had the big casinos on the Strip. Oh, stymied. He would come back to MIT with suitcases filled with $200,000 in cold cash.
What?
Yeah.
So your man Izzy was getting hit off like that?
Like a fat rat in a cheddar cheese factory, freak.
Okay, so what happened to this dude Izzy? Because he's dope.
No, not dope. Dead. After he'd been missing for 3 weeks, the Nevada State Police never found High. And our friendship took a hit when he asked me to hang out with him in Vegas, and I said I wouldn't do it. Because I knew he was on a dark and twisted path in his life. And yes, he was my dude. But no way was I gonna throw my life away trying to show my loyalty to a guy who really and truly didn't understand what loyalty was all about.
So this meeting is about Vic.
Correctamente.
Okay, well, sir, Vic isn't Izzy.
And why's that, freak?
Well, for one thing, you and your dead friend Izzy didn't grow up poor. Me and Vic grew up in a neighborhood where we had to look over our shoulder every 2 seconds to make sure nobody was going to walk up on us and rob us.
True. Izzy and I did not grow up in the hood. But we, like you, thankfully grew up in a 2-parent household. But even that wasn't enough for Izzy. He wasn't satisfied. He was always looking for a 5-alarm fire when he already had the warmth and comfort of a loving family. This is not about class warfare, freak. This is about the consequences of making bad choices and risking it all when you feel like you have nothing to lose.
Vic is like a brother to me, sir.
But you shouldn't be Brother Vic's keeper, freak. Would a brother go looking for trouble and put your career and your livelihood at risk by getting into fights at nightclubs and seedy after-hour joints and then scream to the media, "Yeah, it's all good, I'm an FOF, friendo freak. It's all misunderstanding. Y'all be haters, don't hate my game." I don't think a brother would do that to someone they really cared about, but a guy who looked at you like a meal ticket would.
No. So you don't understand Vic.
Really? I don't understand.
No.
Look, man, It was a misunderstanding with the guy in the next VIP booth. His honey started flirting with me. So naturally, I started flirting back. Next thing I know, Captain Cornball's off my grill piece beefing. Next thing he know, he got a two-piece and a biscuit on his left eye. Hey, I don't know who hit him. And it damn sure wasn't me. Hey, Captain Cornball's mad because I'm an FOF, friend of freak. Hey, but check this out, though. He needs to train that hottie before he leave the house, though. Yo, he's hotties ain't loyal, man.
What's there to understand? Are you freaking blind? You know, I just want to know, how much did you pay your lawyers to make all this go away?
Almost 100,000.
Excuse me, son, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said I paid almost $100,000.
Exactly. And if you keep riding shotgun with Vic, you're gonna go broke. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Look, Vic is my friend, and I grew up with him. How many times I gotta tell you, sir?
Freak, this is not a request. I am not asking you to do this. I am telling you to do this. And the first order of business is that Mr. Vic Van Leer is banned from traveling with you on the road. Vic is banned from the locker room. And Vic is banned from this arena. And if I catch this guy, Vic, in or anywhere near the facilities, Mr. Vic Van Leer will be arrested for trespassing.
Are you serious, sir?
Brother, I'm as serious as cancer. We all know that can be deadly.
You know, when me and Vic were kids, playing summer tournaments at the Dome, we always imagined making it to the pros, right? And after the crowds left, just a street light was on the court, like 11:30, 12 midnight, even 1 in the morning sometimes. We used to practice player introductions, running on the court, giving dap, high-fiving the teammates. Vic, he would act as an announcer. You know, he would introduce me and announce my name on the loudspeaker, and the Jumbotron would flash my image like a little guy dressed in long shorts and a jersey. And now, fresh off his 3-game, 62-point scoring streak, the youngest player to ever do so in NBA history, Frequency Vibrations. So me and Vic would sit in those empty bleachers at the Dome and dream like nobody's business. And now I'm living a dream. For real. And in so many ways, Vic was part of that.
Listen to me. I mean, I know this guy's your dude from way back.
Look, me and Vic go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
That's good. We go way back. Did you say front seats?
Front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
We go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac. Well, do you have any crickets? I'm going to be the hit once again at Herbie Allen's Sun Valley Shindig because my fellow billionaires love it when I walk and talk that talk.
So that almost sounds...
No, let me tell you exactly what it sounds like. I respect, admire, and most importantly, love you as a human being and a role model. But I pay you a lot. And I mean, I pay you a lot of money to play for my team. And I am in this game to win it. And you can't win it with an albatross around your neck like Vic. So Vic is done. History. And here's some more lingo that I picked up from a former megastar who used to play for me several seasons ago. Thought I would never release him until I did. And now he's the sixth man on a struggling team in Venice. And yeah, I'm talking Venice with the canals and the gondolas and Harry's Bar, not the street ballers next to the fortune tellers on the beach in Cali. This guy used to tell me when he thought there was a player destroying our team, don't be a hero, cut that zero. And that is what I am telling you about Vic, freak. Don't be a hero, cut that zero. The only thing Vic brings into your life is headache and unwanted and unnecessary negative attention. And it will begin to affect your mindset. And when it affects your mindset, it's going to affect your play. And when it affects your play, it's going to affect my team. And when it affects my team, it's going to affect my money. And if it affects my money, Google Translate will become your new freaking friend. I want a championship ring, freak, and I want you to help me get that ring. And banners after banners hanging from the rafters in this arena. So, freak, hear me clearly and hear me good. V, G, Vic, gotta go! Handle your business. And remember, that contract you signed contains a morality clause, a very important clause that revolves around your conduct on and off the court, and how it can negatively impact my team. Now, I don't want you to have to learn Italian or Croatian as a second language. And hey, playing pro ball overseas, there's nothing wrong with that. But the arenas are nothing like this, nor will the money be the same. And on top of all of that, this is the US of A, the greatest freaking country in the world. Ask yourself, is Vic worth all that? Think about it. Think long, think wrong.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us any closer at all. I mean, he has so much loyalty to me. And
we got Blake Griffin and the Clips on deck tonight. Going up against him, you almost just hope you don't end up on a poster. But I've never been one to just get out the way. I'm ready to step up, no matter the consequences. Gotta earn my stripes sometime, you know? Here we go.
Welcome to the Palace of Auburn Hills. We're in suburban Detroit, the home of the Pistons, where we'll be broadcasting today's game live. Your end as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Johnson comes in for Marcus Morris. Freaks checked in for Contavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Jennings in for Reggie Jackson. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Wesley Johnson's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And Stevenson comes in for Pierce. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's Rivers in for Paul. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Johnson is out there with Griffin. Then it's Crawford. Then it's Lance Stevenson. And it's Rivers in at the point. And guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
Clippers leading by 9. Rivers kicks to Johnson. Here's Crawford. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Well, they've yet to string many stops together.
It just seems like they're a step slow today.
Going back to Andre Drummond, some say there aren't any true centers entering the NBA these days. But I look at Andre, I look at DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think to myself, what are these people talking about?
The Pistons making a change here. Meeks is checked in, and it's Freak missing.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Johnson with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Crawford's shot is good.
And talking about Andre Drummond, I remember when he fell to number 9 on draft day. All sorts of experts were making excuses as to why. But even then, there was this eerie feeling that some teams had made a huge mistake in passing on him. And that feeling turned out to be correct. Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, you got
And we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Freak, he's in at shooting guard. Ilyasova out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Jennings in at the 1. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pacers made some terrific plays. He finished with 8 points, and he made them pay over and over from the line. A lot of free throws for him. We could see his role in this offense expand if he puts together more games like this one, guys.
All right, Doris. Well, what do you guys think? Does that kind of big performance energize a player in his next game?
Guys, it's tricky, you know, because when you work as hard as he did in that game, you tend to be a little worn down. But on the other hand, he also has to be feeling terrific in terms of the confidence about the state of his game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I'd say mentally he's in peak condition, while physically he could probably use a recharge.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Detroit. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose, the D hasn't been able to keep up.
Jennings kicks to Freak. In the corner, Ilyasova with it. He feeds it to Freak. Will it go? And it's good on the way in. Freak's got his first 2 points of the night.
Just the shot they wanted. Point-blank range.
And the foul called on Freak. And so we conclude the first half.
Well, thank you, Kev.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a 1. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Setting the floor for the Clippers. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan, and it's Pierce in at the small forward. Ilyasova inside the line. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. Terrific assist, a nice finish, solid play all around.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And, guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
Pistons have gone 0 for 3 in the game at the line, missing all previous chances.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Crawford's checked in.
What a sweet assist by CP3.
Pistons trail by 14. Ilyasova, screen on Paul. Freak dishes to Ilyasova. Here's Drummond. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Drummond's got his third basket of the night. Well, as you said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement. And, Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assists and cutting down the turnovers. Just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play. Guys, that's his territory out there in the corner. I mean, when he works himself into that spot, he's usually right on target.
Drummond sets the screen for Freak to the inside and stolen by Jordan. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. And he gets it to go. Jordan's got 10 points in the game. And, guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for the Clippers?
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Yeah, I think you also have to give them a lot of credit for how well they've risen up to meet shooters, to challenge shots in this game. A lot of blocked shots tonight. I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Detroit, no good that time either. Clippers leading by 19. Here's Redick. It's hauled in by Ilyasova. Ilyasova at Los Angeles. They took the win in their last game against the Brooklyn Nets.
And that was not an easy game for them. I mean, they barely hung on at the end of regulation before they were able to pull it out in overtime.
And it could turn out to be one of their biggest wins of the season. I mean, just because of the way they came through when it mattered most. That's clutch play that could serve them well going forward.
And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
And, you know, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but then how about the loud bucket he's able to convert?
He was in perfect position under the hoop, Greg. You're right. Once he gets his hands on the miss.
That's exactly why it's important to work hard on the offensive glass, fellas, for chances just like that.
And the foul called on Freak. That's his fourth foul at the top. Now the Clippers with it. They're on a 13-4 run. Freak, he's in at point guard. Johnson is out there with Anthony Tolliver. And there's Jackson, and it's Baines in at the 5 spot. That's the group for Detroit right now.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Now here's Freak. He's tightly guarded. A second chance effort, and it's good on the layup.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
And Lance Stevenson really couldn't find minutes in Charlotte last season. Ended up sitting out a lot of games as a DNP CD. Not the start he wanted with the new team.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Griffin. And Mbah a Moute comes in for Paul Pierce. And that one's good. Baines has got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, after a horrible half of shooting, they've bounced back here in the second half and picked up their shooting percentage quite nicely.
And for Stevenson, to his credit, he took the benching in stride. He knew he just wasn't a good fit at times.
Yeah, and his coach, Steve Clifford, was upfront about it, and I thought did a nice job handling that. Clifford said he wanted Stevenson as a Hornet, but just couldn't find a unit with which to make it work.
And it's Freak missing.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm. And after defending on the shot, he doesn't give up on the play. Follow that straight to the glass for the rebound.
Paul with the ball, guarded now by Jackson. Los Angeles with another miss. They're running, moving it up. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. Jeff Ayers is checked in for the Clippers. Pablo Prigioni comes in for Chris Paul. Ayers, good.
You know, with all the shots they've knocked down here in the second half, their field goal percentage has crossed the 50% mark.
Yeah, and any team will take that excellent in terms of their efficiency.
Freak passes to Tolliver. It's stolen. Here's Prigioni. Kicks to Redick. They set the pick. There's the pass to Aldridge. The dish to Prigioni. That's good.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Freak, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to go on Cole Aldridge.
And for a long time in the NBA, the stretch four was kind of the anomaly and not the standard. Now it seems that you are the rare power forward if you can't hit a three. Very few traditional power forwards now in the NBA.
The Pistons making a change here. Meeks is checked in. And then for the Clippers, Johnson, he's checked in for Aldridge. And it's Rivers in for J.J. Redick. Prigioni kicks to Mbamute. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Prigioni. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one. With the stretch 4 and the need for shooting at the position, they don't need to be a three-point threat, but they do need to be able to hit a mid-range jump shot.
Yeah, well said. I think you need to have guys that can make perimeter shots to create space.